So you want big traps and you think, man, I've tried everything, but nothing seems to really help. I mean, I feel like I'm doing something, but I really don't see the growth that I thought I would. Well, you may have tried everything, but today I'm going to let you in on a secret of how I grew huge traps and helped other guys grow them as well for competition. Now, I'm retired, 240 pounds, down from over 300, and I still have pretty good traps and shoulders. But I want to teach you the secret, and I hope you'll listen and you'll make really good gains today on the hard truth. Okay, before we get this thing going, I want to make sure that everybody understands, again, and I'll say it here in just a minute once we get to the gym floor, but this is not a video for you as a beginner or even as an intermediate. If you are somebody that is new to this, or you are somebody that doesn't have a few years under your belt of really good hard training, this is going to be a lot for you. Matter of fact, this will be too much for you. So what I would say is, if that is you and this is something that you find way too much, then pare everything down or start with just a few exercises. Let's get to the gym floor, and I hope you enjoy this. I'm going to present it without a lot of edits, just because this is the way I am. I try to be authentic and I try to be real in these videos, and I want you to see exactly what you need to do to pay the price to get really big traps. Today we're going to be working traps, and if you are a guy that you need to know what the mechanics of the traps are, or if you're one of the guys that chicken necks everything, you want to turn this video off right now and go find something else that's for beginners, okay? This workout that we're going to do today is something that I've used for years, and I've given to guys that are a little more advanced. They're competing either on a state or a national or a pro level. And so if you're a little more advanced, try this out. I promise you, it'll blow your traps out the door really quickly. So give it a shot. You need to make sure you're warmed up for this. We all know that your traps, they are constantly holding up your big old head and supporting and stabilizing your shoulders and the entire shoulder girdle. So when you're doing this, make sure that you're properly warmed up, stretched. Make sure you stretch in between sets. The last thing you want to do is get home at night, lay down and go to sleep, and in the morning you can't move your head because you haven't properly stretched out, okay? So this is super, super important. Make sure to get hot showers, and if you're a little swollen or whatever from the amount of blood and the work, get some ice on it quickly. That way you make sure tomorrow, the next day, even though you're gonna have DOMs, at least you're not gonna be all kinked up to where you can't move. Now, a lot of guys like to start off with shrugs, and so do I, to be quite honest with you, but I use them as a pre-exhaust. I don't use them as my main staple, at least not at the beginning. And the reason being is once I get my stretching and my warm-up in, I want to go to something that I can get a lot of reps in. And I want to get blood in quickly into that area and just really get that neck and that shoulder girdle really full of blood, because it's going to set the stage for what I'm getting ready to do. So now, the other thing is, a lot of guys like to say they want time under tension. Well, I don't want you stopping at the top. I want you being a piston, okay? I want you to be a piston. I want it up and down. I want to pump that blood in there as fast as I can get it. I want to really glut the area. So that is super important. So when I go in here, I'm going to go ahead and strap in. This isn't real heavy, but I want to show you what we're doing, okay? So here we go. Watch what I'm doing. Now, come over here just for a second. I'm going to start with my hands about shoulder width apart, okay? So as you can see, shoulder width. So right in here, and we're just going up, and we're just popping that's important because I want you to do anywhere from 12 to 20 reps. So to really get warmed up, I want 3 sets. Like I said, you can go moderately heavy, whatever that is for you. For me, moderately heavy, up into the 315s, you know, 300s. Moderately heavy, get me a good warm up, okay? I'm just looking for that piston up and down. Get that blood in there. Get me 3 to 4 really good sets. Gonna set the stage for what we're gonna do. The second part of this warm up, we're gonna get a little more serious. I want you working the entirety of the yoke of your shoulder. The entire chain up there needs to be worked. Now, what a lot of guys do is they stay with that shoulder width. I want you all the way out at the knurls. Show them right here. I want you all the way out here. So when I put my hand down, you're gonna see that my index finger is right there on that knurl. Now, what that does is that stretches me out, and it really puts a lot of stress up on those upper traps. Okay, you can see when my hands are really out, it really stretches me out there. Really makes me concentrate, get those up there. Starts getting that blood in quick, okay? So first, shoulder width, 3 sets. Then I'm gonna go all the way out the knurls, 3 more sets of 12 to 20. Here we go, we're getting ready to work. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is we're going to start deadlifting. Now, you can use a straight bar if you want to, that's perfectly fine. But what we've got here is we've got what I call a shrug bar. These things work great, so I'm gonna have my son Chase come out over here just a little bit and go ahead and get a look at this bar. And you can see, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do anywhere from 4 to 5 really good sets. Now, all we're going to do is really make sure our back is really nice and warmed up all the way through, but this is really going to get those traps really good and ready for what we're getting ready to do, and that is to really blast them. So we're just going to go in here and we're going to come up. Let your arms hang, okay? Then come back down. Now remember, my hands are only hooks. That's all they are, they're just hooks, okay? Don't overcomplicate this. All I want is a good deadlift. Make sure you're in that really good athletic position. So, again, we're in, we're up, we're good, okay? And we're going to do sets. Now, come back in. What we're gonna do next is once we get good and warmed up, everything's nice and we got a lot of blood back here, we're gonna start variating, or we're gonna start doing variations. So, we're going to do a deadlift. And then we're gonna come on in. So, you're gonna do a set of 10. Now, this is gonna blast you, okay? You're gonna do a set of 10, and you're gonna come in here. For every deadlift you do, you're gonna do 5 shrugs. Now, I want you to start getting a little momentum. Really get those shoulders moving. I want you to slightly bend your elbows and pull, okay? That way we get a lot of blood going, really get those traps moving. All right, now we go from 4 sets of that, and that's gonna be really hard on you. You're gonna go from 4 sets of that, Then we're gonna farmer's walk. So you get your ready, get in, let it hang. Now, what I like to do is, unfortunately, I can't go the full length of this gym, but I like to go the full length of the gym, and I like to do it 3 different times after I get my sets done. Now, that right there will pretty much blitz you. But then we have upper traps, mid traps, lower traps. And now we're getting ready to go over to an incline, and we're about to finish it up for the mid traps and the lower traps. Then I'm gonna give you something that's gonna blow your traps out the door. You'll be finished. You'll almost wish you hadn't done this. All right, now we're heading over to an incline, and you can see we're at about 45 degrees. So what I want you to do is face down, grab you a set of dumbbells, and we're going to shrug at different angles. This is what I would call a mechanical superset. How do you do a mechanical superset or drop set, actually? So we're gonna start at different angles. Pull it up. If you'll come around to the front. We get our dumbbells. We're out here. Pull it up. Drop it. And then do the same thing. All right, so we want to get anywhere from 8 to 10 reps in these mechanical drop sets. Okay, so this works really good. Now, you have to decide if you want to do traps with your back or with your shoulders. I prefer to do it with my shoulders, but to be honest with you, I kind of quit training traps specifically a few years ago. But guys that are really deficient in this area, this is the actual workout I have them do. Usually 5-6 months, boom, we got big traps. Here we go. One other thing that you can do for low traps, we'll grab a plate. This is old school. Come around over here. So we're gonna have a seat on the end of a bench, and we're going to take a wide plate, 45, and we're gonna pick it all the way up, and we're gonna bring it back. And I want you to do 3 or 4 sets of 10 of those as well. This really hits those lower traps, and it works it all the way through. All right, you got it? That's what I want you to do right after you finish your incline. I want you to do those. All right, this is the finisher. This is the one for all the money. Now, if you've made it this far, you survived, you know you're pretty blitzed, okay? Now, again, if this is too much for you, look and see how you can pare this down to meet your needs. Guys, this is something that I did. I'm explaining how I built traps, how guys that I know that I've helped over the years, how they've built traps. Okay, so again, everybody's a little different. Make sure that you are adapting this to you. If the rep range is too high, make sure that you are taking your reps down a little bit. Don't use too much heavy weight, all right? Use a moderate to heavy weight, Make sure you're getting your reps in. I am more concerned with you getting blood flow and really pumping that thing like a piston. That's how we're getting time under tension, not holding. I know some guys advocate that. I don't have a problem with it. I think there's a time and a place as you are changing up your workouts to get more variation, okay? But for me, when it comes to traps, there's nothing like getting that thing going just like an engine, man. Bam, bam. Getting them going, because the more blood you get in there, the bigger they get, okay? Last thing we're gonna do, here we go, you ready? Now this is a high row. The only difference is you're gonna get out close to the knurls again, okay? I want your hands out close to the knurl. Now you say, Jeff, why do you have one latch strap? Well, I've told you before, I was in a car accident. I have a lot of nerve damage in the left side that my body is just degrading from, and it's just getting worse and worse. So that's the way it is. That's why the left arm is the way it is too. But it doesn't keep me from working out, and it shouldn't keep you from working out, whatever you got going on. Learn to adapt, okay? So here we go. This is a high row. We're gonna do it a little different. When we pull it, we're gonna bring it out just like we're coming out with side laterals, except for our hands are gonna be pinned to this bar. So we're gonna bring it up and then back just a little bit. Squeeze those traps, okay? Watch, here we go. Now look, come in here. Hands are close to the knurls. See the knurl right there? Hands are close. Hands are close. Here we go. We're gonna bring it. Ready? Now, that finisher right there, I'm telling you what I do. When I'm finishing it off, I am pumping that thing. I am making that thing just work like an engine. For me, I do 4 sets of 20. Now, you can see I've only got 10s on this bar. Normally for me, I put 25s on. Remember, your shoulders are in a vulnerable position when you're doing high rows, okay? So protect them. It's all about the feel, all about getting those traps working. So I want you to really concentrate. Now, this is how you can build big traps. If you have any questions or comments, I want you to put them below, because I'm going to be answering all of them, okay? So I invite you to please comment. It helps with the algorithm. Yes, it does help to get the video out. So I'm asking you to like, subscribe, and I'm asking you to comment for me. Let's really get this thing out there. I have built world-class traps, and if I can do it, so can you. And I've helped a lot of people do it. I want to help you. Thanks again for coming.